Today I'm going to review for you the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation, as I figured that a lot of you were very interested how it looked like applied on the skin, how it performs, and what I think about it. So I figured that I should do a separate video to make sure that I really did justice to this foundation, as it's really hyped up. A lot of people state that this is like their all-time holy grail foundation, and yeah, I figured that I should show you how it looks like on the skin very up close. So if you're interested and curious what it looks like, then keep on watching. So before I'm going to apply the foundation on my skin, I think it is super important to notice what specific skin type you are to make sure that you buy the right skincare, the right foundation, and all of that jazz. So at the moment I am dry to very dry, depending on what treatments I use, how much I exfoliate, and what moisturizer I use the night before. But this is my usual skin type for like the drier months and like the winter time. But I used to be more on the combination side in the winter time, meaning that I had a like fairly oily T-zone, that my skin was overall more hydrated, like more moist and shiny. Now that it's getting into fall, it's getting chillier outside, I automatically turn into like a dry desert, and I have to make sure that I use a very good and rich moisturizer to combat that problem. Now, I had the chance to try the Nars Sheer Glow during both of my skin conditions, so combination and dry, and after 2 months of trying this foundation hardcore in every condition I could imagine, I personally think that this Nars Sheer Glow is not suitable for dry to very dry skin types, but you can make it work. This is what I have to say too. If you use a good and very rich moisturizer that makes sure that your skin stays hydrated probably all day long if you have the chance, or you use an oil, then this foundation is brilliant. If you are like not one of those persons that is not really comfortable using a heavy moisturizer, or your skin just drinks up whatever you use on your skin, then I think when you have dry skin to very dry skin, you have flakies, you have very dry patches or eczema, I think this foundation is something to steer away from, because it will emphasize those dry patches immediately, and it really doesn't look that pretty, I think. So all of that being said, I'm going to apply the foundation on my skin now. After I shook the bottle, this is what you have to do before applying it. I'm going to show you the very first downside of this foundation. It doesn't come with a pump, which is such a shame considering the high price tag. But if you really love this foundation, I think this is something you have to splurge on somehow too. So this is the amount I would use when I want to cover my entire face. Just to start out, if I want more, I put more on, but this is like my starting point. And I'm in the shade Gobi. Gobi is one of the most yellow toned foundations Nars make. But to me, it's like the perfect match, and I'm very happy that I picked that shade. So I'm going to pat the foundation onto my skin with the IT Cosmetics double-ended foundation and concealer brush. I have to state that those two brushes, this is the e.l.f. powder brush and the IT Cosmetics dual-ended brush, are the only brushes that I can use when applying the Nars Sheer Glow. I can't use the Real Techniques buffing brush or any other regular foundation brush, as they don't do anything with the foundation. They just smear it around. They don't really blend in the foundation into your skin. So I figured those are the only tools besides my hands that I can use with the Nars Sheer Glow. And if you don't have any of those brushes, I would highly recommend you trying to work in the foundation with your hands. This is actually the way that François Nars recommends applying this foundation, so go ahead and apply it that way. But I love using brushes when applying foundation, so this is what I'm going to do today. And I hope you can see how much it already covered. I would consider this foundation as a medium to full coverage. It definitely covers redness and like a little bit of blemishes fairly well. You don't have to use a lot of the foundation either, so I really like to start out with thin layers and then work my way up to make sure that it doesn't look cakey, as again, when you have dry skin, to me it tends to get cakey very easily when you apply it too much on one area, and yeah, it starts to cling to those patches and it looks like a mess. So apply it only very thinly first and then work your way up. And I probably forgot to say that I only applied some moisturizer. I used the Ombriolace Lait Creme Concentrate to moisturize my skin, and that was it. I didn't use any primer or stuff like that, any serums, only a very basic moisturizer. One very, very important tip that I can give you that is so easy to do to make the Nars Sheer Glow work for you if you have dry skin is to really make sure that before you apply the foundation to exfoliate your skin as thoroughly as you can, just to make sure that your skin is as smooth as it can be to, you know, not get the odd some kind of flaky or unevenness in your skin, because you know, the Nars Sheer Glow really emphasizes any sorts of imperfections, any sorts of dryness and flaky, so make sure that you use some kind of a good scrub. So this foundation definitely doesn't have a dewy finish or a matte finish either. To me, this is like the perfect right in the middle satin finish, which I love for an everyday kind of look, because sometimes I really don't want to have like a too dewy looking finish even though I have dry skin. I sometimes really want to look my skin like skin, especially in the daytime. And I think that the foundation really beautifully evened out my skin tone. I don't see any redness peeking through, none of the capillaries that I have around my nose or any sorts of redness is now vanished. But also, as you can see here, like little breakouts still peek through, which is totally fine. This is what concealer is for. Or like dark circles, they're not as heavy anymore, but there's still some sort of peeking through, which to me is still fine. So for an everyday application, this is what I would go for, and this is what I love the Nars Sheer Glow so much for. It looks so natural on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy, and when I touch my face, it doesn't come off either. So I'm not sure if you can see my hand. So when I touch my face, it's not tacky or wet or, I don't know, some kind of moist. It just feels like skin. So my overall opinion on the Nars Sheer Glow foundation is that I like it. I just can't love it because it is just not the perfect foundation for my specific skin type, which is dry to very dry. Therefore, I think it's more suitable towards the oilier to combination skin types. You can definitely wear that foundation without any hesitation. But if you have dry skin like I do, you have to work a lot prior to applying this to make it look good on you. You have to exfoliate a lot, you have to put on a heavy moisturizer, which is fine, of course. I don't have a problem with that at all, but I have to really think about to exfoliate my skin before, which is something I don't usually do on an everyday basis anyway. So yeah, this is something I would definitely have to think about prior. But overall, I like this foundation. I think it's beautiful for an everyday satin finish that doesn't look too much on the skin. It really nicely evens out my skin tone. It cancels out redness, and the shade Gobi is perfect for my skin tone. And I like how it feels like on the skin. It's not too heavy. It doesn't you don't feel it. It's not tacky at all. And yeah, I would probably not rebuy this foundation just because, first of all, it is that expensive, and second of all, I have other foundations that work a ton times better. So I hope this review was helpful for you guys, and I mentioned everything you wanted to know, and if not, please leave your questions down below in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. And if you also like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would make me super happy. And I hope you have a beautiful day, and I see you in my next video. Bye!